And the class of 2022 has had a unique college experience, to say the least. I spoke with 3 Pepperdine seniors about their memories of the trials and triumphs of the past 4 years, as well as their hopes for the future. This year's senior class has had anything but a normal college experience. Since their first semester, Pepperdine seniors like Alicia Yu have navigated life through a great deal of challenges.
One day you wake up and realize, like, wow, this is so different from where we were 3-4 years ago.
In November 2018, just 3 months into their first year at Pepperdine, many members of the class of 2022 were faced with tragedy. A shooting at the Borderline Bar and Grill college night, followed by a wildfire burning through Malibu only days later. Yu was at Borderline and lost her suite mate Elena Housley in the shooting. Senior Josh Liao, one of Housley's classmates, says he has memories from Pepperdine that will never leave him.
Something like that, it changes your outlook forever.
But despite the struggles, members of the class of 2022 say their experiences over these past years have shaped them and their futures. Christian Parham began dreaming of a career in law during her freshman year, and this year she took the LSAT and applied to law schools.
And ultimately, my goal was to go to Pepperdine Law.
This fall, Parham's dream will become a reality. While Parham is staying at Pepperdine, she said the ending of her time at Seaver is bittersweet.
I feel like I'm trying to look at it as less of a goodbye, but rather just like a see you later.
And while Parham won't be leaving Malibu, Liao will travel the world this summer and then return home to Memphis. There, Liao says he'll pursue his vocation.
I know my calling is to work in medicine.
Liao will attend the University of Tennessee Health Science Center this fall, a transition he says he is both excited and anxious for.
I guess I'll be prepared for medical school. I don't really think I'll be prepared for it to begin it. I think it'll just kind of hit me.
Yu says she struggled to find her footing emotionally and academically after the Borderline shooting.
And of course I've been through hardships before, but nothing to this degree.
After losing focus in school and temporarily failing to meet the GPA requirements for her Regent scholarship, Yu says she fell into an identity crisis. But through those challenges, she says she has come out stronger. Yu hopes to plant more roots in Malibu after graduation and is currently applying for jobs in the LA area.
While it was such a painful process to get here, it also did yield beautiful results.
As the 3 seniors head in different directions, they remain bonded by the shared experiences of their 4 years together at Pepperdine. And we're very lucky to have 2 of those seniors that you just saw with us, Josh Liao and Alicia Yu. So I just want to ask you guys, I know that coming into your freshman year at Pepperdine, you experienced a lot of things that you probably never would have expected. So will you guys just walk me through what it was like as a freshman to experience those things?
Yeah, I can go ahead. I think the first thing was, as you first come to college, and you're still talking to your friends from home a little bit, I very quickly realized that my college experience was pretty unique and different than a lot of my peers from back home. I knew that, one, being in Malibu is a big change of scenery, but 2, the obstacles that we faced that first semester, freshman year, really changed the way that our class bonded together as a whole. And I think that's one of the best parts about my college experience is the bonds that I hold with my fellow class of 2022.
Yeah, I think building off of that, I felt a lot of gratitude throughout the entire time for this community. Like my friends that I made here, I'm so grateful that I'm still really close with a lot of the people that I met really early on within the first few weeks, or even the people that I met beforehand, that I met online before I came to Pepperdine. And I think that that is really something that has gotten me through the last few years.
Good. And I talked a little bit in the package about this identity crisis that you had surrounding academics, and we talked a little bit about this, about how you were diagnosed with ADHD last year in February, and how that was actually a good moment of clarity for you. So will you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think coming into Pepperdine, I really tied a lot of my identity into my academics and my achievements, and I'm sure that that's something that a lot of Pepperdine students can relate to. And after facing these tragedies really early on into my freshman year, I noticed a lot of changes in my life, especially academically, which was not something that I was expecting. And so for a while I had a lot of questions. I wasn't sure what was going on, and eventually I was directed to a neuropsychologist who diagnosed me with ADHD, and that cleared up a lot of things. And basically what was happening was that I, throughout childhood, was really good at masking and making up for these margins where I was falling short. And after facing these traumas, my brain just didn't have the energy and capacity to do that anymore. And so I think throughout my time at Pepperdine and through this diagnosis, I've really gotten to unpack who I really am at the core and separate myself from my achievements. And I think that's really going to set me up well going forwards as we leave this academic sphere.
Yeah, so that's a really cool takeaway that you were able to process over these 4 years. Josh, I'm wondering if you have any takeaways through your Pepperdine experience that you're carrying into med school as you go this fall.
Yeah, definitely. The first thing that comes to mind, just in reflecting, obviously applying to medical school and everything that comes after is a tall task. And I had to put in a lot of effort and a lot of work to get there. One thing that stuck out to me when I was reflecting on the path that I took was how important it was, or how important the community around me was. My friends, some of them you guys have seen on air already, Austin and Miles, those are two of my closest friends. And I know without the moral support that they've been for me the last few years, and just the encouragement and making sure that I don't lose my brain studying, making sure that I go out with them and have a good time. You know, college is the time that you have a lot of fun, and you know, I wouldn't be where I am, I wouldn't have the work ethic and the motivation that I do without my friends. And so going into medical school, I know I'll be looking for similar community, although I know the community that I have here is going to be hard to top. I will try my best to keep emulating what I've experienced.
Awesome. And you guys have lived through so many experiences and have a lot of wisdom, so I'm wondering if you guys could give any words of advice to the students who still have a little bit more time here at Pepperdine.
Yeah, I think something that I even want to tell my own younger self, even if it's whether it's freshman year or just last semester, I think to really not just to focus on what has been lost, but also to hold gratitude and hold space to cherish the things that we've gained. I think obviously it is we should welcome all emotions that come about any experience you go through, but I think that it's really important to look around and remember what you're grateful for in life, and to really spend time with the people that you love and that love you.
Yeah, I'd say my piece of advice would be to be confident in who you are. Obviously at Pepperdine there's a lot of great opportunities, and it's up to you to bat for the challenge and step up to bat. And I think just with a little added confidence in who you are, the abilities that you have, your story, your experiences, and what you bring to the table will allow you to succeed. And you know, lean into the community around you. I got done telling my buddies just a few nights ago, the way I see it, the stars aligned for us to have these 4 years together and become such close friends. They've made me more confident in who I am as a person, and that's something that I'm forever grateful for.
Well, thank you guys both so much.